Hello everyone, Dulcie Horwitz here, Carla Solis, and we are here today to talk about if a drag queen were a house, what would that house be?
Okay, so Sasha Velour, also my favorite.
Did I
say that already? Okay, so that's the Edge House by Mobius.
And a good fit.
Yeah, you see it?
Oh, totally.
Yeah?
Totally. But go ahead.
So Sasha's aesthetic is basically taking the typical drag and turning it around. And does it in a way that is extremely innovative and amazing, almost like it deserves its own category.
True.
Usually drag queens are like big hair, a lot of makeup, super pretty, not necessarily, more campy. Sasha's super artsy, bald queen, draws a unibrow on her forehead. Sometimes does androgyny really well. That's not typical, but what she does is unbelievable. And so the Edge House, it's a house, but what's typical of a house is perpendicular walls, you know what I mean?
Right,
and they were like, yeah, no, so they slanted it, but it's done so effectively that it deserves its own category.
Agreed.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense because, I don't know, there's something, edgy, about the house. That's not like
the Edge House.
I know, it is called the Edge House. It seems kind of edgy. But, she is
and
edgy.
housey.
It seems kind of edgy and kind of healthy. But no, if you think about it, it's exactly the kind of drag that she does. It's who draws a unibrow on their head, but then does so successfully.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre. So it's not just, it's the geometry of it, the edginess of it, and also I will say that there is something about Sasha that is very sharp, you know what I mean? And very, well, I would say aggressive almost. Yeah. Her design style is very aggressive. And so this particular house really does look to me like it's sharp, it's angular, and it's very aggressive. Yeah. I totally see it. Totally see it. All right. So this is the one that I cheated.
Oh.
I know.
But Sasha deserves it.
I picked the museum by Heatherwick, and it's called the MOCA Museum. First of all, this project is probably going to make that F you, I can't believe you got this built, episode, because holy crap.
It's amazing.
All right. So anyway, and so the deal with Sasha is that she's very edgy, she's very beautiful at the same time, all this. But the one thing, I was watching an interview with her, and she was talking about, I guess she has a show that she produced called Nightgowns, and she had drag kings, drag queens, all different sorts of performers. And she said something in that interview that made this particular project jump out at me. She said that it was a hyperbolic celebration of taking raw material and doing something else with it. And that's exactly, this is an old factory, but what they did was, see the red area there? Yeah. They cored that out. So it was a bunch of cylinders, you know what I mean? It starts like probably like a granary or something like that. And it was a simple act of cutting. Like, there used to be an artist back in the 70s called Gordon Matta Clark, and he used to just bore holes right through buildings. But if you did it at an angle, when you bore a hole through something, it becomes elliptical. And so shearing through buildings with that sort of geometry, it just took my breath away. Yeah. And that's exactly what Heatherwick Studios did with this particular building. They did some simple reductions, some simple cutting outs on what used to be just typical concrete volumes. And the result is jaw-dropping. And that's exactly how I feel like what Sasha does. Like, she takes the raw material and she does these weird cutaway, get rid of the wig, embrace the unibrow, but yet you get this incredibly beautiful result from it. And like you said, almost like a category of her own. Yeah. And it just takes my breath away. So, with apologies for not choosing a house for this one, I would have to say, oh, thank you. Okay, so if Sasha were a building, then it would be this particular building.
I see that.
To drag queens, good job.
Hopefully we'll do more.
We will.